welcome to People in Perspective. I'm Joe Adams, and joining me on this program is Scott Nasatsky, a local machinist. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
All right, I would like to start out to wonder, how did you get the interest in becoming a machinist?
Well, it started when I was in high school. I was like you in high school, and I got a work program class, and they ended up getting me a job in my career that I do today, and everything went from there, and I ended up loving what I do.
What do you think it would take to the day right now to become a machinist?
It's very hard out there today. You need a lot of experience, but there's still places that take students in to start them from the beginning and teach them everything they need to know. But it takes a lot. It takes a lot of years to understand and to be able to do what I do. But it's possible if you just pay attention and have good teachers.
Do you know what it was like whenever they teach you whatever?
Well, I was very nervous. I was the little kid,
Yeah.
and everybody was all adults, and so I felt out of place. But once I got comfortable knowing everybody, and they all became my friends and mentors to me, and I appreciate what they did for me, because without them, I wouldn't know what I know today.
How long do you think it took to adapt to what you had to do like daily?
It took about 5 years.
5
I would
years.
say, yes.
And what is it that you do, like, work on?
Well, I can make anything out of metal. I can make anything out of plastic. I do a lot of government work, building spaceships and airplanes and machine guns and grenades and rockets and all kinds of cool stuff.
What kind of stuff would you say, like, the government orders you to make?
A lot of it is military parts for them, you know, airplane parts, stuff like that.
What kind of airplane, do you know?
Right now we are building an F-35 jump jet, which is very cool.
What kind of machines do you guys use?
In the machining industry, there's tons of machines. There's grinders, there is lathes, there's mills, there's EDM machines, there's wire machines, sandblasting machines, heat treating machines. It just varies.
How do they, how did you, like, learn how to use all of them?
Well, I learned from the people that started when I first started the job from high school. They kind of mentored me and showed me what I needed to know, pretty much.
Who was along your side, do you know? Like,
What is that?
who was along your side to, like, help you? Like,
I call them my second father, but they're two twin brothers at my work. They're twins, and they taught me everything I know. And I didn't work with them for a while, and now I'm back working with them, and I get to show them what they actually taught me in life, so it's pretty cool.
like, you've been a machinist for a long time, is that right?
Yes, 24 years.
It's a pretty long time. Do you enjoy it, do you?
Oh, absolutely. The pay is very good. Like I was saying earlier, I can make anything out of metal, so it's pretty cool. It's kind of like an art form.
Yeah. What do you think you enjoy the most in doing your work?
Just my finished product, what I make, and just being able to see, hey, I made this part, and knowing it's like going into a machine gun or a rocket that's going to bomb somebody or something, you know.
How do you guys, like, test and see if it's actually gonna work, like, if it's not, like, a mistake?
Well, we got all kinds of measuring equipment that we need to use to make sure that the part is done to specifications that the government wants us to make, pretty much. And we just use all kinds of tools and measuring instruments.
And what kind of measuring instruments do you use?
That varies also. It depends what you're measuring on the part, but everything that we measure is very, very picky. You kind of have to hold a size that is like a piece of your hair cut in 4 pieces. So it's pretty hard. The instruments that you need to measure these parts, very expensive, and but they work, and they get us our final product.
What do you think your boss would do if you had a mistake on a part?
Well, in my industry, when you mess up, it's very costly. Usually, if I mess up a part, it's going to cost me about $50,000. It will cost my company about $50,000, and it's under the impression and under the understanding that if you're not doing it all the time and messing parts up all the time, you're okay. But if you continue to do that, I would be probably in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. Have you broken a lot of parts, or do you like constantly?
Absolutely. I broke a lot of parts. I've messed machines up to make them parts. Just comes with the experience to be able to learn. You have to mess up.
Yeah. Like, what do you think would be like the hardest? Like,
the hardest?
Like to make? Like?
There really isn't anything harder than the next thing. They're all kind of hard to do, but if you know your math in life and you're skilled at what you do, you'll be able to accomplish what you need to get done.
Would you say it's like difficult to accomplish what's always needed to like fulfill your duties?
It is. It's very difficult. It's very stressful because of just how critical everything has to be, and your final product is very important to the world and to the United States, just because we use a lot of the stuff I make to protect our country. So without it being accurate, our soldiers and stuff wouldn't be able to fight the wars that we have.
Could you possibly give me like examples of how like you work every day on a basis? Like, how does he give you instructions?
Well, when I go in the morning, I always have to have my cup of coffee. That's typical for everybody. But we start our machines up, and we get a blueprint of what we need to do for the day from the boss, and he assigns us to what machine we need to go and make that part. And that's pretty much how the day starts.
So I see you have some measuring tools. Would you like to show?
Sure. Would you like to see the part or the measuring tools?
Let's start with the measuring tool.
Okay. This here is a depth micrometer, one of the measuring instruments we use to measure lengths of the parts that we are making. Very expensive, but it's you need it. Without this specific tool, I couldn't do my job pretty much.
What is that right there?
This here, I brought in an example today of a gear that controls the rotor for an Apache helicopter.
An Apache helicopter.
It's made out of brass. Takes to get this stage of the part takes about 2 days.
2 days
worth of work and machining to make this part.
Like, what do you have to do to make it? Like, besides putting it in the machine?
There's a couple different operations. Number one, you start with a blank piece of steel, or in this case, brass, and you put it in the machine, and you start cutting it to start forming the part according to the blueprint.
All right. I want to thank Scott Nasatsky for being on the show today. I'm Joe Adams. We'll see you next time on People in Perspective.